Hello, everyone, and welcome back to RSC EU Season 6 Prospect Playoffs. It's me and Blue Wolf back in the casting booth for this second versus third up around one game between Terra and Maika faction. Blue Wolf, how do you feel after that last series?
I'm regretting ever becoming a Rocket League commentator. I thought it was going to be, fast-paced, high-octane action and not just complete wipeout that we just saw in that last game. I'm hoping for better things, and do you think we'll have better things? Tell me a little bit about both these teams.
I definitely think we're going to get better things. I think this is going to be the prospect game in the playoffs, especially in the upper bracket. We have Terra and Maika faction, second versus third. There is 6 win difference between these two teams. However, these teams went toe-to-toe in the final week, drawing 2-2. Maika faction took a 2-0 lead, a dominant 2-0 lead as well. We've seen the very demo-heavy style of play come out from them since signing Torchic, made the team more aggressive since cutting the defensive N1. However, Terra did come back in that game. They started finding out how Maika play, started booming the ball up, and did pull off a 2-2 draw. However, when you look at Terra's goals scored and the people who have scored them, I mean, they've got one terrifying team.
217 between Potter and Small Panda. That is a crazy number. I don't think there's even that many goals between the 4 players listed for Maika faction. They'll be definitely terrified of those 2 guys. That's more than even the guy last game, his name eludes me, Fancy Penguin, more than even he had. So that's just insane numbers. So I think we'll be seeing a very high scoring game. Hopefully some quality Rocket League coming out. But I guess the real question is can Maika faction shut down those 2 players, Potter and Small Panda? Said the names before, I'll say them again. Why not? They're so good offensively. Do you think Maika faction have a sort of defensive yin to the offensive yang of Terra?
I mean, definitely if you look at the stats, we've got 305 saves to Maika faction. I could be wrong, but I think that's one of the top numbers in the division, whereas Terra only have 266. Some may say that the team's having more pressure on them, and I would agree with that. N1 was quite a defensive player, which is why I made the change to bring in Torchic. We did scout other teams to see who we could bring in to improve this team. Because between weeks 8 and 10, we were going negative throughout those weeks, winning and losing one game or losing and drawing, and we just felt like the top 4 was slipping away. Me and Monk scouted a few players. We came to the agreement of Torchic, but it's just been a rise up the table for Maika since becoming GM. I mean, I took over this team when they were 7 and 9. They were in between 8th and 10th in the league in week 2. And as soon as I came in and started giving these guys a bit of coaching and a bit of guidance, they went 8-0 and 6-2. They've just been an improvement all season, and I think we really have closed the gap between first and second in recent weeks. However, Terra, as we said, if we can go to the player stats, instantly we go to Potter and Small Panda. Is that 127 goals, like you said, between them? Potter with a 74% win rate, Maurice with 70%. I mean, if you look at the win percentage compared to Maika faction, they're in the between the 40s to 64. And the 64% is the sub as well. So, I mean, if you're looking at current rosters, I think we expect a really close game. But if you look at the whole season, then Terra look like they have the advantage.
Well, I suppose you are only as good as your last game, though. Both these teams coming into playoffs pretty hot. Neither of them they both finished the season pretty strong. Quickly want to mention Torchic as well. We talked about Small Panda and Potter's goals per game. Torchic not looking too bad with 66 games and 74 goals. Maybe he'll be the offensive leader for Maika faction, which they will definitely need going up against those dynamic duo on the side of Terra. I'm very excited to see this one play out. Who would you pick as your prediction, ignoring your own personal bias towards Maika faction?
Well, in the RS cast, we predicted the playoff brackets, and obviously Potter went for Terra winning, being on that team, and I went for my team, Maika, winning. I've been really proud of these guys ever since I took over, and like I said, I've got to know them quite well. I brought in Ace from the team that was bottom of the league because I just believe he's a better player than that team was performing. And I think he's had a hard time in the RSC in the past 2 seasons. I think he's been on the bottom team twice. And since coming onto this team, he's proven that he can lead this team. Monk has a really good demo play style, as does Torchic. He was in the 10th place team for O2 Toes, and we brought him in from there. So this team really is built from individuals from lower teams. Whereas Terra have been riding high in second all season, playing second fiddle to Aerial. Potter did make that move from Aerial to Terra, and looks like he's improved that team since. But all the players are in the lobby. I just want to get this game going, and I think I'm going to go for a 3-2 Game 5 Series 2 Maika faction. What about you, Blue Wolf?
Well, I feel like I'm not as blinded by bias as you are, but I'm going to stick my neck out for Team Terra. I think they're going to be able to make this one. Maika faction, as you said, they do have definitely got strengths within their squad, but I just get that goal number is just catching my eye so strongly from Terra. Maybe defensively they might be a bit weak, and that could be where Maika faction shine here, as I think we will be getting into this game very shortly. Just waiting for the teams to get going.
Yeah. And we are telling them to go. Oh, yep, players are joining the lobby. And I can't wait for this one. I think this is going to be definitely the game of the night.
Yeah, I mean, well, when playoffs are going over a couple of days, we've not got the grand final tonight, which I think is a good thing. So this game sort of gets the reverence it sort of deserves, as we will be getting into this one. Maika faction, they are on the orange-blue for Team Terra as the ball is wafted in towards that net. Monk with the shot for Maika faction. A little bit too high over the bar. He'll be looking to improve his accuracy if they want to get some goals. Torchic with one that does riffle the bar. They're getting a little bit closer, but the counter-attack is in. Fancy Potter adds another one on the pile. Top scorer of the league. That's goal number 115 for him.
I feel like I'm back in the DeLorean, Blue Wolf, because this is exactly what happened in the first series of the first game of the first series with Aerial and Kindling. Terra take a 1-0 lead in the first 15 seconds, and again, it's the most positive start you can take into a series. But Torchic, the attacking maestro himself, capitalizes on an error between the Terra defense, and I don't know what Spartax, I think that's B-Shake, was actually doing in defense there.
Well, we're definitely not in the DeLorean. This is not what we saw in game number 1. This isn't going to be a blowout. This is going to be a proper match between two evenly matched teams. As Panda with the flick on, that's over everyone, it seems. The shot is almost into an empty net. It is a little bit too far to the right, and B-Shake is going to try and get that one away. The flick on from his teammates. Some great Rocket League coming out so far. Both teams looking to get into the lead here.
Yeah, and it looks like we've not got that 103 goal small Panda on the field. Oh yes, we do. Panda's sack. I can't deal with these names. I'm sure Potter told me beforehand that he was doing this, and I'm regretting it already.
I mean, it's not like they're playing
Panda and B-Shake.
It's not like they're playing badly. It's not like you want to hide from your original nickname and try and make people think it's a brand new guy. They've got a rap sheet to be proud of, and I'm surprised they're not rocking their original names here.
Yeah, I think some will say they're trying to have a little tease with the potential fixture if they win this game against Aerial. However, they're not there yet. They do need to beat out a third place Maika faction. And it's pretty end-to-end stuff at the minute. I think both teams are feeling each other out. It is the first game on a stream in the upper bracket. Maybe a little bit of nerves coming in from the defence. Do you see any flaws in each other's gameplay yet, Blue Wolf?
Well, it seemed like there was a few flaws early doors, as Fancy Potter, or just regular Potter, has put the ball in the net. It's about to say both teams seem to have a couple of flaws early on. They seem to have recovered decently well in the last minute or so, but then Torchic, unable to make the save, ends up flicking the ball into his own net. Not a great start for him. He is the guy who scored the goal for Maika faction. He sort of nullified that good though by ungoaling there.
Oh, good save by Torchic. Recovered well. Good clear by Ace as well. But I think Torchic didn't expect the miss or the delayed jump from Monk. And ended up in the own goal. It's unfortunate that they were positioned wrong. However, Terra look like they are dominant in the air, and Torchic just can't reach that ball again. And currently, Terra are beating out Maika just from aerial shots.
Well, it's a carbon copy of the goal. Potter's shot not able to be dealt with by Torchic, and I don't think either of those goals were entirely Torchic's fault, but he's bound to be tilted by them. He must have felt like he could have just kept this at 1-1 here, and hopefully it doesn't bleed into his play a little bit. Maybe it might just fire him up. He has scored the only goal for Maika faction. He is currently their leading scorer in terms of goals per game, and he'll be looking to get on the score sheet again here, but at the moment his team is forced on the defense. Ace makes the save. Torchic looking to follow on, but it's B-Shakes. Flick it into Potter. On for the hat-trick. Doesn't get it there. Oh no, sorry. He's actually on for what would be his 4th goal. He's really living up to Fancy Penguin, his namesake at the moment.
Yeah, 3 goals from 6 shots. He is the one putting the shots onto Maika so far, and Torchic is currently the only one doing the same for Maika. I'm a bit disappointed with the way Maika have approached this last 2 minutes. They just seem to be giving too much respect to Terra, a bit like Kindling did to Aerial. There's just no aerial challenge, and it just looks like Terra are getting shots off for fun at the moment.
That flick from Torchic might lead him into a dribble here. He sort of gets the ball caught on the top of his car. Ace looking to lead this one away. Gets the ball in towards the centre. It's flicked on. He goes for the demo on the keeper, hoping one of his teammates will follow it in, but no one is there. They're both sitting about on the halfway mark of their own half of the pitch, and that pushes them onto the back foot. They're able to clear things away, but at the moment Maika faction are looking pretty definitively second best in this game number 1.
I would agree, and I think Stream Nerves are coming out in this upper bracket because in previous weeks we've seen those crosses be attacked by a player, but Torchic put a brilliant ball into the centre, and there was just no one following. Monk and Ace just sat on the halfway line wondering who was going to go. And I just think everything is a bit indecisive at the moment for Maika faction.
Well, with 50 seconds on the clock, they are starting to build somewhat of an offense here, which they definitely need. That's cleared away by Torchic, flicked back in. Ace is able to intercept. He's one-on-one with Potter, who's able to intercept that one. And as Torchic gets the ball down nicely, but it feels like there's no pass there. Every time it's an attack from Maika faction, it feels one man hits the ball and there's no one following through. There's no one looking for that knockdown, able to help their teammate out, as I think that might just be the deciding factor between the two teams. But Torchic's pulled the goal back, and with 15 seconds on the clock, this is looking a bit dicey here for Team Terra.
Yes, and that's what you need. 15 seconds left. Opportunity for a kick-off goal. Might have left it too late. Never know in Rocket League. I'm looking forward to this final 15 seconds to see what Maika can pull out.
Well, the ball goes into the wrong half of the pitch. Ace, that shot is going to be stopped pretty easily by B-Shakes. Will look to just stall here with that ball. He's going to try and do an aerial dribble. He realises he has 0 boost. Flick on from Potter is kept up. Eventually hits the ground though. Monk unable to get the second touch to keep him and his team in game number 1. Terra, they take game 1 3-2.
I know it was 3-2 and there's only a 1 goal difference, but I would say that was a convincing win for Terra. Potter came out early, already had 6 shots and 3 goals within the first 2 or 3 minutes. They have outshotted Maika here as well, 10 shots to 7. I just think Terra came out faster and Maika faction look like they have the stream nerves at the moment. I would like to see them improve on their decision making. I don't know how you feel about this.
I feel like if it is stream nerves, that is almost like a good thing in a way, that it isn't just a golfing skill between the two teams, because if it's stream nerves, then they might be able to easily correct that going into game number 2, as we're currently waiting for Zyrox to ready up. He's sitting watching the game. He is the sub who is not particularly active, only played 14 games for Maika faction. He might be needed here though. At the moment I wouldn't say so. I don't think there's any player I think is played bad enough to take out. Torchik had those 2 goals where he maybe could have kept it out, but at the same time, he scored their only 2 goals, so he gives some, he takes some.
Yeah, Potter will be pleased with that first game. I know he's the top scorer in Prospect, and I know he was disappointed at finishing second to Fancy Penguin in Player of the Season. But it doesn't matter who gets the awards at the end of the season. If you're carrying your team into the upper bracket final, then I'm sure that will be a good consolation. But we are in game 2. Maika looking like they're coming out a little bit better. Torchik nearly got the double. It just looks like everything through Maika comes through Torchik right now.
Yeah, he's too hot to handle at the moment. He had a chance there. It's Ace's shot. It's straight at Panda's feet. It's cleared away, and that might bring an attack here. Monk able to intercept. Captain calming things down in the centre. He needs to get into the game a little bit more. As Torchik, man trying to hit the flick on, does fall for Monk. He tries to centre. That should be easily dealt with by Panda. That's a miss though from him in the air, and it's a bit scrappy towards that corner, waiting for a moment of quality. That's one from Torchik, but it's Ace gets there just before Torchik, and he gets his first goal of the series.
And as we said, everything in this first minute has come through Torchik. There's been more, I'd say more opportunities now than there has been in the last game with clear shots, and Torchik does pass that inside. Ace getting onto the final ball. It could be 2 here. Good save by B-Shake. Terra now looking nervous in the second game.
Yeah, that goal would have gone in from Torchik as well had Ace not been there. It really just shows how he's been the man who is everywhere at the moment. And Terra, they've been everywhere except the opponent's box at the moment. They've been the team that has been under the cosh, contrary to game number 1, and they could be 2-0 down here. Shot from Torchik, dealt with by Panda, who's usually such an offensive player. At the moment, he's been the main goalkeeper. Really shows how one team is dominating.
Yeah, and I think Maika need to learn from what they took from the week 10 or 11 game when they drew Terra 2-2. They were dominating that game 2-0 with high demo plays, but Terra finally worked out what Maika faction were doing. The coach came into the call at halftime and just said, look, boom the ball, they can't deal with aerial plays. And that was pretty much what we saw in the first game. They couldn't deal with the aerial shots that Terra were putting on. And I think that's just something that they need to learn from the experience of already playing Terra.
Yeah, that worked for game number 1, but it feels like this series is forging its own path, and that path at the moment is looking like with Maika faction leading game number 2. Half the game is gone, and at the moment Terra, they've really looked completely different from how they looked in game number 1. They're nowhere near the pace of Maika faction at the moment. But Maika faction, they haven't found that second goal which they needed. Who would possibly find the goal? Who would you think could score for Maika faction? Of course it's Torchik. He's found his first of game 2. Probably should be a second though.
He has, and I mean, Ace is top of the scoreboard, but Torchik is doing all the work right now, and I'd like to see Monk come a bit more into the game. He is up there in the stats for Prospect, but I think he's having a bit of a quiet series so far. But Maika faction won't be complaining. They're 2-0 up in the second game. I think they still need one more goal to at least make this a little bit safer and go 1-1 in the series.
Well, I suppose Monk is sort of the most defensive player on Maika faction, and at the moment Terra haven't been threatening on the offense at all, so maybe Monk's had a bit of a quiet one here. He might be tested. In fact, it's a bit of a mishap on the middle of the pitch that lets Fancy Potter find his first goal of this game number 2 and take things back into striking distance for Terra.
Torchik says my bad in the chat. However, I think Monk totally whiffed that ball. I don't know what he jumped over it for, but I think he misread the path of the ball, and that put Torchik in an awkward position trying to bring it down ball side. This is where Maika faction could get nervy again though. They had a dominant 2-0 lead, and now it's scraped. The deficit is scraped into 1.
Well, they could have restored the advantage there. Monk looking to atone for past mistakes. It is saved by Potter. Chance for a counter-attack. It feels like most of the chances have come on counter-attack for Terra there. Soaking up a lot of pressure and looking to try and make offensive breakaways. That looks like where their second goal will come from, if it comes at all. At the moment, it feels pretty even, though. It feels like either of these teams could break away and find what would either be a winner or an equaliser.
At the moment, being the Maika GM, I really would love to see Ace and Monk pushing up more. It seems like Torchic is doing everything in the attacking half, and Ace and Monk just don't know when to commit to a ball at the moment. I know Maika are leading, however, it's going to cost them goals like this if they aren't pushed up the field. And like I said, Monk just a really awkward pass into the corner when Ace already had that ball. I don't know whether it's a lack of comms or I don't know, lack of chemistry happening in this game, but Terra are closing the gap again.
Well, at the moment, it feels like Maika faction, they might be falling onto the ropes here, and Terra just need to find those killing blows, and at the moment, they look like they will. Ball on the halfway line, touched on by Monk towards his own net. Ace is back to defend. Monk able to recover and get that one away from Potter's shot. B-Shake's looking to get that one away. He has demoed the scenario for Ace. It's all been Torchic. That was Ace's moment. Torchic's shot saved by Potter. So at the moment, both teams having the opportunities. 20 seconds on the clock. Overtime looks like it's looming unless someone finds a breakthrough here. It's missed on the halfway line from Potter. That could have been the moment for them. Instead, now they're on the defense. That ball is cleared away, and Ace pushed up quite high here. There's no one back at the moment. Gets it up in the air. That's enough for his team to recover, and that will be overtime pending any 0-second goals. That's a flick on that might cause a bit of problems. Torchic keeps it up. Here comes Ace. Keeps the ball alive for now at least. Torchic looking to keep that one up. It's actually B-Shakes to keep it going, and that's going to hit the ground eventually from Monk.
Yeah, both teams have tested each other a lot this game. 7 shots to Terra, 9 shots to Maika. Maika just lacking that little bit in the attacking third. Just need one player maybe to push up and find that goal. But Terra definitely attack as a unit on the counter-attack.
Well, this game too is what we were expecting from the series. Two teams fairly evenly matched, just going at it. At the moment, it looks like Terra might pull ahead, but Torchic with the long distance shot in between the post and the crossbar. He's flicked it on. That's not going to go in though, and Maika faction so close, but not able to take this game 2 over the line, and it's worried for the counter-attack there. They look to have stabilised a little bit. Torchic in the air, he's flicked that to Ace. Ace seems to be coming online a little bit offensively, and that might just be what Maika faction need to take them over the line.
Yeah, they really need to start winning this boost race and start demoing, because that is the playstyle that we've come to expect from Maika in the past 3 weeks. I've not seen too much of the demo plays so far, but that is what was winning games for them. A triple committing defence there. Luckily they're not punished, but Terra will have the boost from it.
Yeah, it feels like Terra are the team that's been doing most of the demo plays, which is 100% not what we were expecting. That was a chance for Panda. It's cleared away by Ace. The follow-up from B-Shake looks like it's meant to be a pass towards Potter. He's able to get something on it. Is hit forward by Monk looking to take out the keeper. Panda dodges. Torchic's missed the ball, and that could leave them understaffed at the back. It is Ace, the last man back. He's able to scramble that ball away as Potter has been the man with the goals so far. He's only got 1 in this game. He's looking to find a second. He's got 7 shots. He's been leading the offense, but has been a lot quieter this game. I think you'd agree.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's a bit of a tentative second game now. I think both teams are back to that feeling each other out stage again, not wanting to make the mistake that will cost them the game. I think it's the goal's either going to come from a smart play or a very heavy mistake, and it could be here. B-Shake just about recovering in time.
I do feel like a mistake is inevitable with both teams feeling like they're under so much pressure. It feels like heavy, tentative Rocket League, and that's a backflip from Monk. Maybe if he'd committed to that one, we could have seen a shot come in. As Potter looking to get up in the air. Torchic stuck underneath the ball. Relies on Ace to get that ball away, and he will. Ace looking to set his team up here for a chance. Bounces off the backboard well. Here comes Monk. Saved by Panda. Counter-attack is going to be in from Potter. He's got a chance to shoot here. Hits it wide. The pass on from B-Shakes is a pass to himself, which he hits straight at Ace. So at the moment, both teams exchanging a bit of pressure here, but I don't think either team looks like they're going to deliver a killing blow anytime soon. But saying that, Ace's shot, oh, keeping an open net here. Monk coming across, not able to stop the ball, but Potter has slowed down considerably, and that's allowed the defence to come back into position.
Yeah, Potter did take the ball up the wall with 0 boost and then realised that he needed to drop it down and or get some boost. Slowed down the play a lot and allowed Maika to get the defensive rotation back. Still 3 minutes 30 in overtime, and again, I still think this is going to come down to a mistake.
Oh, Monk almost had it there. Potter on the counter-attack. Ace grabbed the boost from under his nose, and that should allow Ace to get that one away. The double commit though, Torchic in the back lines. Good thing, make things awkward. B-Shake accidentally saves Potter's shot, and that might just be a little bit of luck that Maika faction need as Ace looking to get that ball forward is fairly easily thwarted. So at the moment, I genuinely couldn't predict which way this one's going to go. Oh, that flick on from Fancy Potter might have just cost his team dearly there. Hits the ball onto the crossbar. It looks so good. If that had gone in, we'd be praising him as a genius. Right now, he looks like a fool, so he might have just denied his team the win here.
I think that ball was in. I think the last man was going for a bump on the defender and just caught it and put it onto the crossbar. Unfortunate there, but we saw it from B-Shake earlier as well. B-Shake saved one of his team's shots, and these mistakes may cost Terra the win here.
Terra's offense looking to try and go through the gears here. They've put on the pressure onto the net. It's a defensive double commit. Not the first time we've said that from Maika faction. It's Ace trying to lead this one away. He tries to set up his teammate. There's no one in behind him though. That ball is stolen by B-Shakes. So he can start his attack of his own. Here comes Potter in the air, who's flying well past the ball. Instead it's Panda. Tries to shoot. That's Torchic to save the third shot from Potter though. And at the end, Maika faction, they succumb to the constant pressure on their net.
I just don't know what is happening with this Maika faction defense tonight, but they look slow. They look tired. Maybe the 11-week season is finally troubling them. It's the worst time to do it in playoffs, so it just looks like there's a lack of communication, whether it's the fact that they've not played together for a while. Obviously, we've had a week and a half break for Prospect. Good offense from Maika faction regarding Torchic. He does make all the plays. He's had 6 shots. Ace did have 6 shots, even though I said Ace and Monk need to get up further to support him. But it's a 2-0 scoreline now for Terra. And what do you think Maika faction need to do now to come back into this?
Well, I mean, you did say their defense looked tired, but at the same time, Maika faction, they did manage to go 6 minutes without conceding a goal there, considering we had a 5-minute overtime as well as regulation. It felt like they're just lacking that little bit in offense. I suppose defensively as well, a few double commits towards the end. I think that's what ended up costing them. Too many players getting caught in the same position, allowing Terra to sweep the ball into the net. But I quickly want to say, Terra, they're being, I feel like, hard carried by that man Potter. He scored the 2 goals. He had 9 shots. His teammates between them had just 3. And I feel like if he even dips a little bit in this game, I feel like that could be the opportunity that Maika faction need to come back into this.
Yeah, he has had 16 shots in the series so far. He is the one leading his team from the front. 114 goals I think he had prior to this series, and second in player of the season. That man is trying to prove that he should have been number 1. And Maika are getting tested here in the first 10 seconds of the game. Luckily, just get the ball out.
I believe Potter has scored 5 in this series, so he's looking for goal number 120 if he can put one in here. This is a nice number to get onto, and it looks like his team might be the ones to concede here as Monk and Ace on the attack. Feels like that's very rarely the case. Torchic the man back. Might be caught out of position. Potter with the shot. That's too far to the right. Able to be cleared by Ace. And I suppose there's a problem here for Maika faction is that there's not really, I feel, the chance of a substitution compared to other teams, considering Zyroig T rarely plays. There's not really that 4-man switch up, which I suppose is good for chemistry and makes the team generally work better, but whenever you're in a dire situation, it makes things a lot harder.
Yeah, I'm not too sure how Zyro plays. We did pick him up to allow us to pick up Torchic. And I haven't really seen how the team plays around him. I know they did win a scrim together against the top team Aerial with Zyro playing. However, the person I'm most disappointed with tonight so far is Monk. I don't know whether it's because he's playing on console tonight instead of his PC, but he just looks nervy to me. I think he's committing a lot for balls that he shouldn't be, and it's making the defense awkward a lot, especially in that last goal in the last game.
Yeah, I feel like he's been the most error-prone player on the server, and it's just these small mistakes that really open up a gulf between the two sides when you're so evenly matched on paper. You can't make those mistakes. You're always going to be punished, and he really has been so far, as this game has been incredibly pinball-like. Not a great deal of quality from either of the sides so far. We're still waiting for someone to break the deadlock. It looks like it might be Torchic. He's been the player who's done most things throughout the first two games. He's been a little bit quiet here. Feels like might be one of the other 4 players on the server who haven't really been as offensive that will get the goal, not Torchic and not Potter.
Yeah, Terra know that they've got this game right now, 2-0 up in the series. They did win 5-3 overall on the head-to-head throughout the season as well, despite that 2-2 draw with Maika in the final weeks. And they've just gone 1-0 up in the third game. We could be looking at a clean sweep here.
Well, oh well, that is a goal from Potter. Goal number 120 for him. A nice round number for him. I don't think he'll end the series on that total, though, especially if Torchic keeps scoring for Maika faction. He has been the real hero for them. If he hadn't shown up in this game, I feel like this would already be over in Terra. They'd be miles ahead. Torchic just needs his teammates to get onto the same level as him.
Definitely, Torchic has been the spark or the flame in this Maika faction team tonight. He's been the one with positives, but somehow B-Shape gets that in from the angle. Did he double tap this? He did. And again, Monk just caressing that back post. I don't know what he was doing. Again, the errors are coming out from Maika faction, and ultimately, this is costing them. Yeah,
chance for immediate redemption for Monk goes a-begging as Panther cuts across to make the save. Potter looks like he might be able to start a dribble of his own here. Waits for Torchic to get out of the way, takes a nice aerial touch, goes for the ground pinch, is able to be intercepted though. Panther going the way back here might give Torchic an opportunity, and B-Shake, he doesn't score very often, but he scored two crucial goals so far in this series. Might be looking for another one here, as he has hit the ball forward. It must be really odd for him playing in a side, with 2 players who've scored as many goals as Panther and Potter have, to try and be that third man who's not expected to really almost do anything offensively. You're just supposed to be the linchpin that keeps the team running.
I mean, like we said, Gandhi Sack was a water boy for Aerial, and he popped up with some vital goals in the first series that we saw. So we do need those players, and B-Shake as the sub plays when he's needed and performs when he's needed. Come up with 2 goals, as you said, and he's leading Terra to victory at the moment with Potter.
Yeah, I don't think that there's just that same player that's on the opposite side of Maika faction at the moment. It's just been the Torchic show. He's centered that ball there. Ace is able to have a shot blocked. Tries to set up Monk might come online here. That's perfect placement from him.
Did Monk just set his alarm for the third game? Because he's only just woke up now. 4 minutes into game 3. Monk with the top bin shot, and he equalises for Maika faction.
Well,
now we've got a game.
Yeah, Monk's got a lot of saves for his team. He's going for a different sort of a save here, looking to start a reverse sweep. That would be pretty crazy if Maika faction are able to make this one work. They have the momentum firmly with them at the moment, and Torchic looks to open his account in this game number 3. Has that shot cleared away. Ace looks to take it under his wing, but it is taken off his shoulders by Potter. He misses the aerial himself, and with 25 seconds on the clock, it looks like we're headed for our second consecutive overtime.
it does, unless a team can pull out a magnificent third goal. Could be a series winner for Terra. Could be a game back in the reverse sweep potential for Maika. There could be a chance here. Terra just miss. It looks like we could head to overtime.
Yeah, Monk with the save to take us through into overtime. 2-2 the score. We had 5 minutes of overtime in the last game. Will this be similar, or do you think we'll see a fast goal here from one of the two sides?
Well, with overtimes, I tend to find that if you have a game that finishes with a lack of goals, then it usually tends to be like a 10-second overtime. And then when you've had goals with multiple goals, like 2-2 here, I think we could be in for a long game, like the last one.
Well, we certainly have precedent as B-Shake looking to start this one off on the attack. Torchic to intercept. Tries to build an attack of his own. Is thwarted. Panda thwarts 2 players in a row, and Potter has just completely missed the ball. Let's B-Shake take that one over. He's going to try and do the aerial. Good save by Torchic, but Potter is there. He's been the hero, and he is putting out a statement. I am better than Fancy Penguin. He has done amazingly here, scored so many goals, and he's taken his team into the next round of the upper bracket.
I mean, you say Potter's the hero, but what about the air dribble from B-Shape? We don't really see those mechanics from people around the 900 MMR mark like he is. And he did set up that goal for Potter. Potter, though, 120 plus goals for the season. I mean, Spartax and Panda's sack has put in a good performance. They've backed up the team today. However, Potter is that carry player, like you said, and I mean, comes up with the decisive goal in the third game.
Yeah, definitely. It feels like Panda, kind of surprising. He didn't really get on the score sheet that much. B-Shake, he did so much defensively as well. It was the water boy player. He was the engine room. The engine, sorry, not the engine room. The guy who kept that team ticking over. And Maika faction, they'll definitely be disappointed with that performance. I know you, being affiliated with them, were you disappointed?
I am kind of disappointed because I know that's not how they play. I think they were lacking a bit of confidence, maybe lacking a bit of game time. I don't think they scrimmed throughout the week and a half break until yesterday, I think.
Well, it sort of makes more sense then, considering they were pretty lackluster there. Disappointing result for them. I think they can still... There's still hope for them, definitely, in the lower bracket. We saw a good performance from Torchic. Monk came online in the last minute and a half for some reason. That was when he decided to start playing well. But I do feel like there is still hope for Maika faction, but I'm really hyped to see Terra play up against Aerial. They seem like two teams that are ready and here to try and win that title of prospect winners. Well, it looks like I might just be here alone. Archeon will be casting the rest of the games tonight. I sadly will not. I had a great time here with the first 2 games, even though one of them was a little bit, how you say, lopsided. I hope you guys stick around for the next game. It will be coming on in 20 minutes. I'm sure we'll have a lovely newcaster here to join you and greet you through that one. There will be more playoff games tomorrow as well. I hope you stick around for those ones as well. I can't wait to see who wins this tournament. It will either be Aerial or Terra for my money. I haven't seen some of the lower bracket teams yet. Hope you guys stick around and enjoy those ones. I've been Blue Wolf. Good night.